Well, for anyone who demands classic Disney, this should be the show for you. Hey guys, coming over the series premiere of the new Disney Channel show, nnElena of Avalor. This is Season 1, Episode 1, First Day of Rule. Now, let me just tell you guys that I would not have known of this show had it not been for Disney Channel promoting it, and also for me, you know, waiting to rewatch Girl Meets World, because as you guys know, I watch Girl Meets World on the Watch Disney Channel app. I don't really watch it when it's on TV because I've been putting every episode up early. But had I not rewatched episodes of Girl Meets World, I probably would never have heard this show. And I'm glad that I did hear this show because I was really looking forward to it once I heard of it. I was like, what's nnElena of Avalor? First, I thought this was a Disney Junior show, so I was like, I don't know if I should really watch this. But then I got into it, and I have to say that I really love this show. I thought this was a really great first episode. Here's the best way I can describe this show. If you guys have not seen this show, which, by the way, there's not going to be spoilers in this episode because there's not really much to spoil. Basically, the best way I can describe nnElena of Avalor is that it is basically a classic Disney animated musical movie. So, like, something from, like, the 90s Disney, but done as a TV show. And I think that's the best way I can describe it, and that's one of the reasons why I think this show is so great. One of the many reasons. But let's get to the plot of nnElena of Avalor, which I think is very interesting. It's also a spin-off of Sophia the First, which I'll get into, but basically, the plot of nnElena of Avalor is that you have this girl, nnElena, who has been trapped in this lamp, basically, or, well, I think it was a lamp, I think. I don't exactly remember what it was. Amulet, actually. She was trapped in this amulet, and she was eventually set free by Sophia the First. I guess in an episode she was set free by her, but eventually what ended up happening is that there was this evil sorceress that took hold of her kingdom, and nnElena ended up saving everyone, basically. And now we cut to, after she's gotten out of this amulet, she now is basically being crowned princess. She wants to be, crowned queen, but until she can be crowned queen, basically her grandfather and grandmother admit to her that she has a lot to learn before she becomes queen, and that basically is the plot of nnElena of Avalor, is her destiny to become queen, and her on that journey to become queen, and what comes with that, and that basically is the plot of it. There's a lot more to the show than that I will get into, but I overall really think the plot's very interesting. I mean, it feels like something right out of a Disney movie, and I really do like that. It's just kind of condensed into a TV show, and I really do like that. But let's get to the cast first, because there's actually some really great actors and actresses in here that I'm sure you guys will definitely recognize. In fact, our lead, I think, is someone that a lot of people recognize, Amy Carrero, who is actually on Young and Hungry. I don't watch that show, but I know a lot of people do. Plays the lead, nnElena, and I think she's fantastic in this role. I mean, she really feels like those headstrong female characters that Disney is trying to develop. This is a girl that clearly does not need a man. She feels she's completely independent on her own, and she's not at all focused on romance. That's something I really do love. I love that she's not focused on romance. I love that she's independent, and I also love that she feels that she deserves being queen, and she wants to prove how she can become queen. You know, she doesn't want anyone to tell her how to do it. She feels that there's a lot she can do to become queen. In this episode, she basically comes up with strategies on how to become queen. I thought that was definitely very interesting. I really liked her character. She's a lot of fun to watch. The only thing I will say is that I do kind of want to see some backstory, which I did hear we're eventually going to get a movie. I do feel the movie should have been before this. That's really my only thing, but I think she really did a great job. Really loved her character. She really was fantastic here. And then Jenna Ortega as well, I'm sure you guys will recognize from one of 3 shows, either Stuck in the Middle, Jane the Virgin, where she plays the young Jane, or Richie Rich, where she plays that horrible character Darcy. But she's a really great actress, and I really liked her character of Princess Isabel on the show. I thought she did a very good job. She's her younger sister, and these two have already a very good chemistry. You can already see they bond very well. Prince Isabel basically looks up, she looks up to her sister. She wants nnElena to be queen, and I really liked what they did with her. I thought it was a very nice dynamic, and I really like what they did with them overall. I thought overall they connected very well together. One of my favorite parts of the show, I think by far, is definitely their bonding. I think, like I said, they worked very well together. Chris Parnell, I thought, was very good here. He didn't have a ton to do as Miggs, neither did Yvette Nicole Brown, but I thought they both did a very good job. Definitely like both of their characters. And then you have Carlos Alzarique as Skylar, who also was very good. I thought overall those 3 are really great. They just didn't have a lot to do in this episode, so I can't really say a lot about them. Who immediately sticks out to me, though, is Emiliano Diaz as Francisco, who is Elena's grandfather. He really did a great job, because you can tell that while he really does want his granddaughter to become queen, he realizes that there's a lot of things she has to do, and I like the way he looks up to her. I like the way he's going to be this figure towards her. I also really liked Julia Vera as Luisa, her mother. I thought they both are very interesting characters. I like what they did with them. They're a bit one note right now. I want to know more about them. I'm sure we will as the episodes go on, but I like they did them overall. I thought they definitely worked very well together. Christian Lance as Esteban. This guy probably is going to be comic relief. I really loved his character overall. He was definitely a lot of fun to watch. He's her uncle, constantly feels that Elena needs him, and constantly feels he has to do things for her, and I thought it was very funny. I really liked his character overall. I thought they had a very fun dynamic. But probably the most exciting addition, for me at least, is Jillian Rose Reed, who I am extremely happy is on another show, because you guys know I love Jillian Rose Reed as an actress. I think she's a very talented actress. Even though I didn't love the last season of Awkward, I still really loved her character, and I still really love her as an actress, and I'm glad that she has another show. But I think this pretty much confirms that Awkward is over. I think it just pretty much confirms that. But I love her character, Naomi. I think she's really just this bubbling personality that I really do love. She's Elena's best friend, and there's a lot going on with her, definitely you can tell. But I really liked her character overall. She was a lot of fun to watch. Joseph R. Haro as Mateo. There was definitely something going on between him and Naomi. You don't know what it is. I mean, Naomi and Mateo say they both go to school, but I'm sensing there's probably like some sort of tension there. Just the way those two talk to each other, that was a lot of fun to watch, and I like those two interacting overall. And then I really liked Jorge Diaz as Gabe. I thought he was a lot of fun, who's Elena's friend, and probably going to be a love interest, even though Elena doesn't want a man right now. I feel like eventually there's just going to be some sort of romantic spark there, just the way it seemed. That's where it seems like they're going. And then Keith Ferguson, that's the only character I guess I can talk about, as Zero. I love this character of Zazu. I think he's awesome. He is this spirit-like animal towards Elena. He's kind of her conscience and everything. It's very interesting. I'm interested in seeing what her connection is to the spirit world, because we don't really know what it is yet, and that's something I'm definitely looking forward to, is what her connection is there. But overall, I think the cast overall is really great. I think everyone really did a great job, and definitely that's one of the best parts of the show. For me, though, the thing I think that makes this show so great is the creator of Craig Gerber, because he also creates Sophia the First. Now, I obviously haven't seen Sophia the First. You know, it's for little kids, and it's just not my demographic, and I just don't feel like I get into it. I mean, it's for little kids. I'm just not going to watch that kind of show. But I really admire what he did here with Elaine of Avalor, because the logical thing would have been to put this on Disney Junior. But he didn't do that. He put it on Disney Channel, and I think he did a very good job with that, because so many people have been saying that, oh, Disney Channel needs to do, classic animated Disney Channel stuff, and I think this is exactly what you guys will want. If you guys are looking for that kind of, medium, this is exactly what you're looking for. This show very much feels like, Frozen or Tangled or something like that. In fact, there is a Tangled series that's going to be on here. And if there's one thing I can give Descendants, even though it was shit, so there's one thing I can give it, it's that it is in fact trying to bring back classic Disney. And I think that's something that I am all for. I love classic Disney. I think everyone really loves classic Disney. And yeah, it really is about time that Disney tries to bring back, some classic animation stuff. And it definitely seems like that's what they're trying to do here. Just for an older demographic than what they did with Sophia the First. And the other thing is that, I didn't talk about this, Elena is actually the first Latina princess, and I really do admire that a lot. I think that's really cool they did that. Craig Gerber actually wants Sophia to be the first, Latina princess, is why it was called Sophia the First. But I think, the reason it didn't end up working as well is because her skin was just, I guess, whiter and hers is darker. But it doesn't really matter. I think it's really cool that she's the princess and everything. I think that's definitely very interesting. And the story here as well. I'm looking forward to really seeing where the story's going to go. We didn't meet the character of Shariki yet. Of course, that's the evil sorceress that I'm sure is eventually going to come back in the show. I don't know what appearance she's going to make. But I'm looking forward to seeing what else happens in this show. Definitely, I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And I will say my only complaint with this episode is I wish that the capturing storyline of them capturing her sister and Gabe, I wish that would have lasted longer than one episode. I just wish that they would have stretched it out a little bit more. I think it would have been a little bit more interesting, and that to me felt like they wanted to, felt like something where they wanted to stretch it out and they just kind of cut it short, and it just didn't work as well as it did, because we're basically supposed to believe that Elena already has her team established and everyone's still just as strong, and I just don't really believe it yet. That's really my only complaint. I don't believe that the team is as strong yet. I don't believe that she'll be able to take them all down just yet. I know she was able to defeat an evil sorceress, and she definitely has powers, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's more going on with her powers, but I just don't believe that she'll be able to rescue her sister and Gabe that fast. I just don't think it worked that easily. But the other thing I love about the show is that it does have music. It's a musical, and it has original music, and that's awesome. I love that they have original music here. There was only one song. I don't know if it's going to be one song every episode, because it's a 10-episode series, and there's only 7 episodes on the soundtrack, and there's only 7 songs on the soundtrack. But I really do love the songs that we got in this episode. I thought it was a lot of fun to watch. Ready to Rule. Definitely really like the dynamic between those two. And I'm hoping we get more songs. I mean, Phineas and Ferb, that was a show that was a musical, and they used music very well to their advantage. And I think Elena of Avalor will use that even better, because Elena of Avalor feels like something out of a classic Disney film. And with that, I think you should have music in it. And I'm glad the show has music in it. And I really love the music the show has in it, definitely. The other thing I'm hoping is the animation on the show, let me just say, by the way, is amazing. I think the animation looks fantastic here. It looks like something right out of a Disney movie, and there's just something really cinematic about this show, and I really do love that. It definitely feels like a movie at times, and I think that definitely is really cool. So yeah, I think the animation here looks fantastic. And then as far as, I guess, like I said, the score is really good. I'm looking forward to maybe getting more into the Spanish culture, what's going on there, you know, what's happening with that, and also her connection to the sorcery world. I thought overall that was very interesting. Like, the only problem with this episode really was the editing and how it's edited. I just felt the last 3 minutes, it just felt like they had this really great story and they ran with it, but the last 3 minutes, it just felt like it ended too quickly for me. And I'm looking forward to seeing where the rest of the show is going, but I don't really know where it's going. Is it going to be Elena going more into her powers? I think that's going to be very interesting as to really where the rest of the show is going. But you know what? For a Disney Channel show, I think that's really good, because most Disney Channel shows that are not Girl Meets World are really shitty, and this show, I really love where it's heading. Like I said, it really does seem like Craig Gerber here, he really knows what he's doing. He really knows how to make the show good for kids and good for everyone else as well, because this really is a show that I think everyone will enjoy. Everyone will find some sort of enjoyment here, whether it's the music or something like that. I think everyone will really find something in it. But overall, guys, if you haven't seen this first episode, let me know what you guys thought of it. If you haven't seen it, then I will, in fact, post a link, because it's actually already on YouTube. You can watch the first episode on there. Second episode is also on the Watch Disney Channel app, which I might watch tonight. I don't know if I will, but I don't know if the premiere's 2 hours or not. I mean, an hour or not. I don't know. And I also know, like I said, we're getting 10 or 13 episodes. I'm still not sure yet. But let me know what you thought of this first episode. If your thoughts on it, we'll see you guys in my next video, which will be for this week of Big Brother. I know I didn't review last night. I'm going to review tonight because tonight's the battle back, and I basically have to review tonight. And I will see you guys for that. Okay, bye.